You're watching Claremont Voices. Now here's your host, Tom Wiebel.
Well, thank you, Mr. Spengler, our co-producer of this TV project, and the chief announcer, as you heard. And we visit today with another of our friends here at Claremont. This is one who has been around for over 5 years, so most everybody knows Linda Thompson. And she in turn has welcomed a lot of folks because there's a special committee which she has supervised for quite a while. Now she's tried to maybe relax a little on that and pass it on, but it's hard when you've got her background and knowledge. Anyhow, thanks for everything you do, Linda. She lives close to my place in the 700 region of the place, and you've got quite an interesting life. And so, by the way, I haven't seen you much, Linda, in a hat. Is there a story to that hat?
Yes, my daughter gave it to me. She goes to an embroidery class, and then the teacher gave everybody the hats.
Oh.
And then she did the embroidery on the hat band.
Oh.
I hope you can see it.
Sure. Oh, I think it shows up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And she thought it would fit in with some of our parties here.
I'm going to tilt it up a little bit. So, okay, get a shot of that.
Okay.
You want to keep that on? It looks great. If you, whatever's comfortable for you. Okay.
It's getting hot.
Okay. Well, that's,
Whoops.
Hold on. I have that part. Okay. We broke our hat.
It just slipped off.
Thank you for bringing that along. We've had some other folks that have had some hats on too, so
Good.
Fit right in there. Well, you came here. Was there a particular circumstance that brought you here?
Well, I had moved back from Florida, and I was staying in my camp, and I got sick and ended up in a hospital and spent a week there. Then went to stay with my daughter, and I think I was with her for about a year and a half, something like that. Mm-hmm. And it was, you can't live with your kids. You cannot. They become your mother.
Okay.
And so, anyway, she suggested this place. She had a friend that lived here, and she highly recommended it. So I said, okay, let's look at it. And here I am.
And here you still are.
I still am.
Golly.
And probably will be for a long time.
You've been involved, as I mentioned, the committee, welcoming people. But you've been sort of a friendly advisor in a lot of ways. You've come up with, I know just on the year or so I've known you, you kind of think like management maybe, I don't know, but you've made suggestions, I know, and you haven't been shy about it, and that's good.
Yeah. Well, about every meeting.
Okay.
Every resident meeting I have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm. And things are looking pretty good, and
Yes,
I
they
won't
are.
go into any other suggestions right now, but
No, I don't need any.
but thanks what you do. You mentioned a camp, and we will get into that maybe along the line. It's safe to say that over the years you and the family had seen a lot of the country, I guess.
Oh, yes. We traveled quite a bit. We took the kids, started camping when we were little. They were little bitty things. And did you ever put 4 people, 2 dogs, and a couple camp cots and everything else inside of a 9x9 tent? That's not fun.
Did you ever step it up to anything fancier?
Oh,
along the
yeah.
line?
We went to a fold-down camper, and then we went to a camper. At the end, we had a 28-foot or 26-foot camper.
You had actually
Cab
owned some lots at some time along the line.
We bought the lot. We bought our home. We lived in our home for 40 years. And then we decided, okay, we're going to retire. So we bought the camp, which had the lots. You had to buy the lots and the camp and everything. And it worked out.
Now, this is the one in Florida?
No, that's the one in Ohio.
Oh, I was near Bell Fountain, wasn't it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, outside of Bell Fountain on
okay.
I-25. And then we went to Florida, and we met up with my aunt and uncle, and we said, well, we was thinking about Florida. So we'd looked all over Florida and everything, so they took us around the corner and showed us this place.
Huh.
We bought it.
Okay.
We lived there 2 or 3 years, and then Tom passed away.
Okay.
And then I stayed there. And I was in Florida for about 22, 23 years.
Oh, just on your own pretty much then.
Well, I got married again, and that one didn't work out, but
Okay.
I stayed for a while, and then I came back to Ohio when I got sick.
With all the places, you've been out west and all over,
Oh, yeah,
haven't you?
we've been out west. We went as far as Iowa. We got that far west. We were planning on doing a tour of the West the summer that my husband passed away.
Oh, sorry.
So anyway, here I am.
Yeah, well, of all the country, was there any particular place that really impressed you and you said, this can't be beat or anything like that?
Ohio?
Was Ohio
Oh, it was
fun
Ohio.
to get around it?
I love Ohio. I've always lived here. And I didn't see any place any more interesting. There's a lot of interesting things to see and do, and we did them. We did them with the kids, and when the kids is grown, we continued to do them.
But you meet so many cool people along the way,
Oh,
too.
yes, you meet the best people in the world camping. And they're caring people, and
Are
I
people
can't say
pretty much
any
the
more.
same from anywhere in the country? have you
anywhere in
found?
the country, anywhere in the world.
And you've met people, we'll get to this, you've met some people from well beyond Ohio,
Oh,
but
yes.
that's in a little different part of your career, which I want to get into.
Right.
She spent like 30 years with or at least one with Hearts, a department store, and that was a partner of Big Bear, was that the deal?
Yes.
Back when?
Yes.
And but hold that thought for right now. Quick backstory. Let's move to where you grew up. Where were you actually born? Near here?
I was born in Black Lake, Ohio. We moved to Gahanna, outside of Gahanna,
Okay.
and we lived there. I lived there until I got married.
Your original name, last name?
Was Cox, C-O-X.
C-O-X. Okay. So you were there and went to Mifflin schools.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Did you ever have any training beyond high school at all?
A little bit.
like-
I went to some computer training when it started up. I went up to Easton. I think it's Easton. Outside of Easton, they had a school, and I went there and took some computer classes.
Okay. Now, you had first met your future husband. His first name was
Tom?
Tom Cox.
No, Tom.
No,
Thompson.
Tom Thompson. I'm sorry.
Tom
Okay,
Thompson.
got it. And then he went in the Navy.
Yes. Yes.
Now, there's a great story that I just caught my ear. So you had dated a little before he went in the Navy, or?
Yes, we did. And then we kind of just broke up, and he went into the Navy. And
he came home
on leave.
And
Him and a buddy, Jim.
they ran into you doing what? Stand by.
I was washing my dad's car,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
had a bathing suit on because it was summertime,
Yeah.
and when you work with water, you put a bathing suit on. So here they come down the street.
And
they stopped, and we got back together. We got back together, and we talked, and he said, I'd like to see you again. I said, okay. So we started dating again, eventually ended up getting married.
And
I was almost 19, and he was almost 21.
And you wound up eventually having two children.
Two children.
Tell me about them.
Well, my daughter is Donna Shealy, and she and her husband owned the Wild Birds Unlimited for about 30 years, a little more. And then they decided to retire.
Mm-hmm.
Their son now has it, Chris.
Okay.
Now has the store. It's right up here in the shopping center.
That's the one just up the street from us here.
Right, right.
Uh-huh.
And then I have my son, Robert, who we call Bob, and the kids always called him Bobby because he didn't like that.
Hey, but you wound up, I would say, babysitting a parrot. Speaking of birds,
Oh,
I
yes.
just thought of this before we started. That
I babysit Bug whenever his mom and dad goes away somewhere on a trip, which they're planning on going this next winter, and or soon, I guess. Anyway, they're going to Ireland, and
so you and this parrot have
they're
gotten
going
to be
on yeah.
pretty good friends.
he knows who Grandma is.
Okay. He's in a cage, of course, and
Oh, yes.
I've seen him.
I don't let him out. He chews up everything,
Okay.
so I don't let him out at all.
All right. So, what did your husband do for a living?
He was, after he came out of the Navy, he worked with a company, and I can't remember the name of it,
Yeah.
but he worked with a company, and then he got this offer to go to another company who went out of business because the Vietnam War was over.
Mm-hmm.
And they was making parts for the
Military?
troops.
Okay.
And then he got an offer from the city of Whitehall. And he was there for 27 years.
Hmm.
And he was crew chief, had a crew worked with him, and he enjoyed it. He worked a lot of hours.
So that was what he did. And your children are still close by?
My daughter lives in Lancaster, south of Lancaster. She has like a farm almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then my son lives in Reynoldsburg,
Okay.
and he has two children, and she has one.
And do you have great-grandchildren
I have
now?
two.
You have two of them?
I have
Okay.
two great-grandchildren.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm proud of them.
Now, I want to get connected. But now, before you got hooked up with Big Bear and Hearts, was there any other thing that you need to fill in there that you did?
I first started out with Whitehall Discount.
Okay, it's a little
That
department
was a
store.
discount. No, it was a big department store.
Oh.
Had a grocery. It was something like what Walmart is now.
No kidding.
They had a grocery, all kinds of furniture, clothing, shoes, jewelry, everything that Walmart has. Whitehall Discount had.
So this was your warm-up for that career then?
That was my warm-up place. And then I quit there, and I worked in a grocery store for a while, just part-time, because the kids were at home and somebody had to be there with them. So then I went to Whitehall, or Big Bear, Hearts. I went to Hearts, and that was my career.
You spent,
And I
what
loved-
was he said, about 30 years
About
actually.
Close to 30 years there, yes.
Now when you first started, I know you wound up in, in different roles there. How did that all happen? You just, they saw something in you maybe that you were, creative and such?
I was working in the, where you had materials and stuff like that, and I liked making clothes. I made all my daughter's clothes
Oh,
up until she went to high school. And then she decided she wanted to wear jeans. So I said, okay, I'm done sewing.
that was that.
So anyway, I started out at Hearts by making things for the home ec, the department, and putting them on display. Well, then they liked the displays, and a position come up for a display job.
Now, did that just come instinctively to you? You weren't had any particular training toward that
No,
kind of
I
thing, did you?
didn't. I think the sewing and designing of clothes,
Creating.
yeah, creating clothes and stuff like that,
Okay.
that probably helped a matter along.
So you really spent a lot of time in that activity then
Right,
for the place.
right. I did all kinds of displays. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, I mean 6 foot tall, and probably a 20-foot long inchworm that had had a shoe on each foot. That was the shoe department. I made dancing figures for the clothing department.
Really?
We had a square dance theme, and I made the dancing figures and hung them from the ceiling.
Did you have many assistants for this activity, or mostly by yourself?
I did most of it myself.
And you had the freedom to go and procure what you needed?
Yes, I did.
Spend a
I
few
did.
bucks if you had to?
Yes, I did. The company gave me, if I needed something, I got it. And if I would go over to the Hart's warehouse, pick up the dummies,
Okay.
and bring them back, clean them up, and dress them.
Wow. Now, I remember everybody thinks about the Lazarus Christmas displays and stuff.
Oh,
Did you do
yeah.
anything of
Oh,
that
yes.
sort for
The
them?
whole store.
Really?
We did the whole store, Christmas displays. On top of the counters, we had round top tables that hanging clothes on them.
Okay.
You had to decorate the top of those. We put all kinds of things out.
Wow.
All kinds of Christmas things, the Easter things,
Uh-huh.
whatever. Whatever the holiday we did, we decorated for it.
Now, in addition to that, I think you did some other like outreach activities, community things for them?
Well, yes, we had some contests for the kids. They got a little thing. They might have got a football, a baseball, or whatever. And then we had a style show, which turned out really
And
good.
you managed that?
Yes, I had help with that.
Okay.
I had help with that. But we displayed, the girls wore the things that we had in the store that was for sale.
Sure.
And that helped sales.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Holy cow. And they went, now after you left them, were they still around for a while?
I was transferred. My legs gave out on me. And the doctor said, you can't stand on your feet, Linda. He said, you got to do something else. So I said, well, they won't give me a sit-down job. He said, well, we'll see. He wrote a letter. 3 days later, I had a job in the office downtown in accounting. So I spent the last 15 months in accounting.
Okay. This was still with Hearts, or was it with Big Bear also?
Hearts.
Oh, with Hearts.
Hearts.
Okay. And they had multiple stores.
Oh,
didn't they?
yes. You'd see a Big Bear, you'd probably see a Hearts.
Uh-huh.
We had one in Reynoldsburg, one in Whitehall, one on Morse Road, all Marietta we had down there.
What's your take on, we didn't rehearse this now, your take on comparing the stores today with what you had? Did you have a lot more freedom to do things that were...
I think so, because you don't see the stores decorated anymore.
Okay.
They don't do decorations in the stores anymore that I have seen. The customer service isn't as good. I mean, well, you'll ask somebody, where's something, and they'll say, over there.
But back then, was things were such that you actually got to know a lot of customers?
Oh,
because
yes.
they were loyal, maybe more than today's world?
Yes. We would take a customer, if they asked where something was, and you'd say, well, it's in the shoe department, or it's in the housewares, or whatever. If they couldn't find it, you would go and take them to it.
Yeah.
You don't have that anymore.
Mm-hmm. That, yeah, the more personable
Right.
stuff, I guess.
Right.
Huh.
And Hearts and Big Bear was very big on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know they did a lot of advertising too.
Oh, yes,
and,
yes.
People can recall that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a different time, but it was. Are you glad that it timed out, that you were there in that prime time, so to
Yes,
speak?
I am. Something I forgot to mention, we had a art show too.
Oh my gosh.
This was things that people made themselves. And we set up the garden center. This was in the fall after the garden center had closed. We took over the building, set it up, set tables up, and they could come in and sell their stuff, show their stuff and sell it.
Wow.
Like a flea market.
No kidding. Within.
It was on the property with the store.
My goodness. I know that there used to be stories from Lazarus how they would take stuff that people weren't happy with, even and stuff it wasn't even from them, but they, for the sake of the goodwill, they would. Do you think some of that happened?
Oh yes, yes it did.
Because you figured that, yeah, they maybe get us a little bit this time, but they're going to come back. Is that
Right,
it?
right.
Mm-hmm.
I worked the return desk for a while too.
I see.
And I would get called up and say, hey, we need you up here, and away I go, return desk or wherever they needed me.
Yeah. Wow. So those were good times then.
It was real good times.
And now you managed some people under you then along the way?
Yes, I was a department manager in just about every department I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I was in ladies' wear, I was in domestics, I was in menswear. I worked there a short time, and then I was layaway. I was head of the layaway. We had layaway. We rented videos. Was when you could go in a store and rent a video and take it home and watch it.
Okay. Okay.
And then we had electronics, all that stuff.
Now, I mentioned you make a lot of good suggestions here. Was management pretty open then to getting
Yes.
feedback from you and helping just improve things?
Yes, they did. They were to everybody, not just me, everybody.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
They worked well with their employees.
it sounds like it. Well, things just happen, I guess. They just eventually, well, both Big Bear and Hearts, did they both kind of fold up at the same time? I can't remember.
Yes. When they closed up Hearts, I think there was a few Big Bears that was open after that, but it was just Big Bear. And then eventually they closed up too.
Okay, now when that ended for you, connect us up. Did you do any other work then after that?
Nope. I said
was
I
it.
was close to retirement, and at 55 they asked me if I wanted to retire, and I said no, I'm not ready yet. So I went on to 60 years old,
Oh,
and I retired at 60.
okay. Now, was there any other kind of work along the line before or after this that might be worth knowing about that was different or on any?
Other than PTA and all Boy Scouts and Campfire Girls and all that stuff.
And you were the one that never said no, I'm sure.
I
and
didn't. I couldn't say no.
Did all that.
PTA and all that stuff.
Well, I think that's the story with a lot of our folks here, some of whom I think when you tried to maybe get somebody recruited for a committee here, they'd say, I did enough committee stuff.
Right,
and,
right.
And we understand that.
We do run into that. But we would like some of the new people to try some of the things out.
Okay.
Try
well,
doing some of the committees, or get yourself settled in and then do the committees if you feel like you want to. If you don't feel like it, well, you can help out.
Okay. Okay.
And when you walk down the hall or ride down the hall on a scooter or whatever, say hello to somebody. You see somebody, you say hello. That makes them feel welcome.
Well, that's one of the first things that I felt when I came here. It's been, like I say, a little over a year for me, And Tim's been around, I think, a little bit longer than that. But Tim, I invite you, yeah, anything, because you've been very active yourself, my co-producer. Anything you want to?
I don't think so.
Got a few more minutes. Okay, just wanted to let you know. And I like to mention this guy from time to time. He doesn't get much in the way of camera time, but he makes this whole thing possible. So Tim, in front of the camera, we appreciate it, and hope we can keep that partnership going. Well, it's been an interesting life for you. Could there possibly be like anything else? I love asking this question, that you'd like to have done or you'd still like to do before, you know?
I wanted to be a nurse at one time.
Really?
That was when I was a teenager. But there wasn't the money to pay for it. I had two younger siblings,
I see.
and my mother had passed away, so Dad had to work. And I had to take care of the kids.
Ah.
So,
You became sort of like almost a stepmom in ways.
almost, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, this is the first time I've ever lived alone.
Well, you're not really alone, my dear.
No, I
You
know.
that.
I know. I have a lot of friends here.
Yeah, and just in getting over to where we do our thing here, it took several stops along the way just to say hi and.
Oh, yeah.
And
I even got lost, and you went ahead.
Well, thank you, and
Thank you for
we,
taking the time for me.
well, I think a lot of folks will enjoy your story.
Thank you.
And you look superb today, by
Well,
the way.
thank you.
And
These
love the
are
hat.
some of my favorite colors.
Oh yeah, and you've done some kind of sewing too, haven't you, along the line?
Oh yeah, I sewed for people.
Yeah.
That was in my time that I was at home.
Okay. Time to wrap it up, boss. Okay. He says we've done a good job, and
Too much time?
no, we're just enough. We're fine. So, with that,
You can wrap that last bit out.
Linda Thompson, folks, and you can see why she's such a good neighbor and a good friend here at Claremont. So until we do this
Next
again, I'm Tom Weeble, and as I like to say, we'll see you down the hall. Take care.